What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the best one, Donnie, here with...
What is going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. 1/3 of We Are Wrestling. I'm back after my massive bout with sunburn. What's going on, Nathan?
What's going on, We Are Wrestling Maniacs Worldwide? It has been the other third of We Are Wrestling, and today we are officially kicking off SummerSlam week, leading up to the event on Saturday itself. Guys, we have a great show for you. We are going to be giving our predictions, but before we do all of that, Don, hit him with it.
That's right. In this video, we are going to be given our entire predictions for this upcoming WWE SummerSlam 2023.
Detroit.
And if you've been hiding under a rock and you haven't listened or watched any of our prediction videos, we don't just give you who we think is going to win.
We're going to give you
We
why.
dive deep into the rivalries, the storytelling, the matches, and the outcomes. We really like to dive deep into it, but if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're listening to the podcast, give us a 5-star review. Not just a 5-star review, but a best one review, and download the episode. Makes Danny's nipples hard, but if you're watching this, you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. We recommend you to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. Videos be coming out of nowhere like an RKO. And of course, you already know the grind is real.
As fuck.
So, before we dive into the matches for SummerSlam, there is some things that we do got to talk about, because some matches that we thought were going to be on this card for this year, like Austin Theory defending his United States Championship against LA Knight,
Buggin'.
and even Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, they're not happening this year. We're going to be having a lower match card, which we have been noticing since, Triple H has taken over creative. How do we feel about this?
Honestly, it's probably best for business. One, having a lower match card obviously gives you more time for more matches, and quality over quantity, 100%, because you want a really good show, especially one of the big five. It's one thing for, like filler pay-per-views. Not necessarily saying that all pay-per-views should be just throwaways, because that's not the case. But for big fives, you really do want to put on, those stellar matches, those 5-star classics, those memory-making and superstar-making matches. So honestly, I'm cool with it because, Becky Lynch, Trish Stratus, they're already both two established, superstars. So they don't really need a huge spotlight for, a match like this on one of the big five. It could easily be something that furthers the story in some way, on either a filler pay-per-view, a special episode of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, whatever brand they're on. I think it's Raw, but
yep, it will be Raw in 2 weeks in Trish Stratus's hometown of Winnipeg.
Yes. Now, as far as the United States Championship match goes, I don't know why, because it is one of, the major mid-card titles that you would want to put on one of the big five pay-per-views. I feel like with certain pay-per-views, there are certain titles that should be defended, especially when it's a lesser of the big five. And I say that very lightly because SummerSlam is fucking massive, but it's not on the same stature of furthering like, the other big five pay-per-views. This one, it kind of bugs me a little bit because there was so much that went into it, and I feel like the payoff should have been at SummerSlam for somebody, especially if we're going to be transitioning a title from someone who's had it for so long. There should have been some kind of ground to have a match, on the card, but shit happens, I guess, and out of all the matches that are already on the card, this one just seemed the most beneficial to cut. So, it is what it is,
How do you feel, Danny, about this?
I like the fact that, they're not going overboard with matches. Like you guys said, ever since Triple H, took over creative, and, then Vince McMahon started weaseling his way in, but he's out running an extended leave because of fucking spinal surgery. When Triple H was booking NXT Black and Gold, and he had like all the NXT Takeover shows, I think he only had like 5 matches on the card. But the
It
thing,
would be five. It would be 5 matches per takeover.
every
Sometimes
single
6.
every single match fucking counted. And
Mhm.
that's what we need, the same attention to detail on the main roster as he put with NXT Black and Gold. You know, in a lot of cases, the NXT Takeover shows, they outnumbered the legitimate big pay-per-views, you know, that the main roster was having at the time.
Mhm.
Just because it was more exciting and it was more intense watching NXT
There was a
Black and
lot of
Gold.
care that went into the product, 100%. And
Yeah.
Triple H has really brought that back. Even with the main roster, having these smaller cards with bigger matches, and it's also exciting in a way too, because with a smaller card, if say something happens, there's a match that was supposed to happen, there's interference, a superstar gets knocked. That's kind of exciting in a way because that extends another match coming forward to give it more depth of the story. So it's like,
Mhm.
okay, you took a throwaway match, you cut it off entirely. Now you've opened this big space for another match that's about to be even more blockbuster than we already thought. So now,
Yeah.
this draws even more attention to it. So honestly, I'm not mad about, cutting down the matches. It's just there's certain matches that should be a part of the card.
They should be a part of the card. My thing is, I don't want anybody on the pay-per-view that's not gonna benefit the show. Like,
Absolutely.
I want every single match on this card to matter and to count and to be exciting. I don't want somebody to be on the card just for the sake of being on the fucking show. Like,
Yeah.
WWE did that for years. I'm over the bullshit. If you're not doing anything to contribute to any kind of storyline, anything, you should not be on the show, regardless of who you are.
I
And
can
AEW
actually
does that a lot with their pay-per-views. It feels like they try to put everybody on their pay-per-views to try to make
yes.
them
Yeah.
happy. And that's
See,
something that we need to get out of, which is why I like what Triple H does.
yes, Donnie, you fucking hit it on the nail. Like literally, I can understand where you really do want to give these superstars some kind of chance and time to shine and actually have them on TV to make, your audience happy. But at the same time, it can severely diminish the fucking quality of your product. So
Hmm.
you hit that shit right on the nail, man. Right on the fucking nail. That's literally what I was about to get at, is like, you really can't make everybody happy. You really have to think about the product and the long scope of things and what can really bring in the numbers, but also something that makes sense. And not everybody's character makes sense at this given time. So no, 100%.
So here's what I think about the whole, not having pretty much quality over quantity. I absolutely love Triple H's mindset here because going into pay per views and premier live events, this is how it used to be back in the day. If
The good
one
old
thing
days.
that I learned from Old School versus New School podcast was matches during the pay per views mattered. A lot of people enjoy mixed martial arts. A lot of people enjoy boxing, and I'm sure there's even going to be some people tuning in Saturday to Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz. But here's the thing, going into these fights, you're spending your hard earned money. And you can't just have everybody on a special card. You need to have the best of the best. You need to have the best rivalries because you need to sell the pay per view. You need to sell the premier live event. And that's the mindset that Triple H has, which I love, which is the reason why I think NXT TakeOver was so successful. So
Yeah.
now getting into the 2 matches, well, 3 matches that a lot of people are, complaining about that they should be on the SummerSlam card. We're
Oh, there was
obviously
another
going to
one?
start off with the first one. LA Knight versus Austin Theory for the US Championship. That was a missed opportunity. LA Knight right now is the most popular WWE superstar. He's already, up there with the merchandise sales. He's up there for, being known. The Yeah movement is literally taking
Dude,
over other wrestling shows and just
AEW.
everywhere worldwide.
Yeah.
And you have a perfect opportunity at one of your big premier live events to make LA Knight a bigger star than he already
The
is.
megastar, bro.
This would have been the perfect way to do this. But I guess they have other
Testify,
plans. It
baby.
seems like they're trying to have Santos win the title, which I feel like he's a great talent, but he's not ready yet.
No, he's not. Yeah, no, LA Knight is the guy. Like, if this dude is in your company right now and his split shit seconds before the show even goes on air is getting millions of views and the highest viewed thing for the fucking show that night, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, I get it. They're going to wait for his push right directly after SummerSlam. Like, their shit's picking up immediately after SummerSlam, apparently. They're going to be giving him
Needs
a
to.
massive push. I'm happy about that, but it should have been started at SummerSlam with him facing fucking this dude for the title, because my God, do you understand whatever title you give this fucking guy, it's prestigious. It is fucking prestigious. Like, whoever were to take that title off of him is going to get one of the biggest fucking boos in history.
Yeah.
Because the dude is just the dude walks like Stone Cold but talks like The Rock and wrestles in his own fucking way, and it's so glorious. And the fact that they literally missed out on this opportunity is fucking infantile, especially at one of the big five. You know, like, this is literally the biggest party of the summer, and you're basically, other than the Battle Royal or something like that, you're gonna leave the megastar out of it and not in a big match that could fucking catapult his career. Fuck you. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Now, getting into the second match that a lot of people are talking about that I didn't talk about in the beginning of this, Raquel versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense yet because the feud has only been 2 weeks and we need more time to build it. I think Payback would be a perfect place to, give Raquel more time to, show that she's a worthy contender for the championship. I think, Payback is a perfect time for that. And I think they just need more time for that build. But now getting into the third one that a lot of people were shocked about, including myself, Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Here's what I got to say. The feud has been a little bit lackluster. I think we all can agree on that. But here's my problem. They've been building this feud since after WrestleMania, right?
And that was April.
Yeah.
April. And when you have a big rivalry like this,
you want it to culminate.
You want the final match to end at a premier live event. You want it to end on somewhere where it's going to matter, where eyes are going to be on it. Like Raw and Winnipeg in a couple weeks. Okay, cool. But there's not going to be as many eyes
Winnipeg
on
is
that
her hometown,
than there would
right?
be on SummerSlam.
No, it's Winnipeg. She's from Toronto. Winnipeg is not her hometown.
Gotcha. All
So
right.
I don't know. I don't know where you heard that it's going to be in her hometown, but it's not.
Well,
No, I didn't
Adam
hear it was
Pearce
a
kind of
real-
botched
no,
it
I just-
on the Raw thing.
That, and
He's
I
like, "Oh, I'm
also
giving you home court
wasn't sure.
advantage or something."
Well,
I think he just meant Canada in general.
Yeah.
Winnipeg's not that far from Toronto, so it is like kind of like her home court advantage.
Yeah, it's like Winnipeg,
So
Manitoba, or something like that.
here's what I heard might happen with this match.
Before you go on, is Zoe Starks involved at all in SummerSlam?
No.
Nope, she's banned from ringside during their match in a couple weeks.
Oh, badass.
But
Nice.
here's what I heard. Now I have no confirmation about this. But I heard that Trish and Becky might have a cage match because of all the interference with Zoe Stark. So what I could see happening here is I could see them in a cage. I could see Zoe Stark trying to help Trish.
Lita comes out.
Lita comes out setting
That
up a
would be
tag team
great.
match at Payback. That's
Bro.
what I could see happening.
Danny, yes, that, everything that, yeah, dude, a woman's cage match is already like, whoa, like, I'm fucking there, but like Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch with potential interference from Zoe Starks and fucking Lita to give her some fucking time too, like,
Because it was pretty
count
much
me the fuck
hinted
in.
Great
that
idea.
it was pretty
yeah,
much
dude,
hinted
it's
that
perfect.
it was pretty much hinted that Trish Stratus is the one that took out Lita. That way she could team with Becky that night, the night that she turned.
It would make more sense if something like that did happen.
Because you can't just write off Lita.
But here's the thing though. Here's my issue though. You have this build up starting in April to now.
Yeah.
And you would think that, okay, the best place for these two to end their rivalry would be at SummerSlam. We all thought this was going to happen. I will say, they definitely threw a twist at all of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say clever WWE for that, but I don't know. I feel like this, even though the match isn't as exciting as we want it to be, SummerSlam would have been the right place to
The
do it, or you should have wrote one of them off injured or something.
The
until they
only
back.
the only reason that I think that they waited a little bit for like the Raw in Manitoba is to like kind of bring more eyes to the fucking
That's the
main
only
shows
reason.
like Raw. But I also have a feeling that because they're going to Canada, it's going to be a bigger episode in some way.
Here's also what I could see happening, right? So
What
they
up?
have they have this build, right? Now this is gonna sort of extend the story a little bit. Have the tag team match at Payback, right? And then either at Survivor Series or the Royal Rumble, if you wanted to extend it that far, you could have Zoe Stark versus Becky Lynch, and you could have Lita versus Trish Stratus, all one-on-one.
Oh my
matches.
god. See, that'd be great, but at the same time, dude, like I don't know. I just
one step at a time.
Yeah,
For
man,
nostalgia
like,
purposes, I mean, bro, it's 2023. Lita and Trish had one of the best women's rivalries in the entire fucking company. I would love to see them
rehashing
go at it again.
rehashing a feud after 20 years is, that is like I've noticed that we're living in the era of nostalgia with a lot of things. We got Toby and Andrew back, so I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. I wouldn't rule anything out. We got the Spider-Man together, so I can't rule anything out, bro.
I would really enjoy seeing it. Not saying it's gonna happen, but
it's one of those fun things about, it is one of those fun things about this whole thing is, about being a wrestling fan is speculation and, really thinking about what the bigger picture is and what the payoff is. But if there's one thing I've learned in the last year is that Triple H, we're in good hands. So I think that in some way there's going to be a payoff for what it is.
Oh, there's something I do want to say too.
What up, fam?
Another reason why quality over quantity. When has Triple H had a bad premiere live event with this recipe?
Not in a while. I mean, what was the last pay-per-view that was kind of mid?
Backlash was kind of mid.
Backlash. I enjoyed it, but it was out of all of them mid compared to all of the other pay-per-views that he's done, like Royal Rumble, etc., etc. It's been that one out of all of them was mid, but it was still an enjoyable show. I mean, we got the fucking first holy shit of fucking Io Sky that night. So yeah, no, it was an enjoyable show, but out of all of them, it was the calmest, I would say.
I think the biggest fumble about that show was the fact that Brock Lesnar and Cody main evented when they shouldn't have.
It should have been Damian Priest.
Dan, you are on fucking fire right now, man. And we haven't even started the fucking topics yet.
And now we're going to get into the matches for WWE SummerSlam 2023. And these are, not in logical order. We're just going to, random it.
Take it on the fly.
I will say, we should talk about this match first because it's been hinted that this is going to be the first match in the card.
I already know what you're going to say.
Yeah, Logan and Ricochet.
Because he
has to fly.
He has to go to Jake's fight. That was the first one I did have.
I do believe this is going to be the first match in the card. So
I think Donnie knew, but yeah, I got you, bro.
Might as well talk about this, man.
Let's do it, bud.
The first match we have for SummerSlam 2023, Logan Paul versus Ricochet.
All right, man. This was hinted since the Royal Rumble, ever since that, particular spot, if you guys know what I mean.
Viral moment.
The viral moment, yeah. This is going to be a feel-good match. It's been... Unfortunately, Ricochet's mic skills are very lackluster. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that this dude can go in the ring. We've all seen it. The dude is fucking phenomenal, and he got to recreate one of his biggest NXT moments that he had with Velveteen Dream. He got to do it again. He gets to have more TV time and prominence with one of the biggest YouTube stars and one of the most well-known personalities to this day. It's going to be a good match. They both have similar styles. Logan's a little bit bigger, and he has the one lucky punch, which is the knockout punch that fucking... who the fuck had it? That just punched you in the fucking face, and then you knew it was out.
Big Show?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Fucking you just knew it was over. And it's weird that it works with Logan Paul, but it really does. He has that. So, anytime that connects, this is going to give Ricochet a great opportunity to prove himself with kickouts. If he's one of the first ones to kick out of the lucky punch, boom, that dude is already gonna climb the ladder slowly. Maybe a fucking an intercontinental title run, all of that shit. And It's going to be a good match.
Don't say who's gonna win though. Just give
I'm
your
not going to
thoughts
say who's
first.
going to win.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a really, really good match. Like, I think, they're both really athletic. Ricochet is definitely more of what you would classify as a cruiserweight. So we're going to be seeing a lot of, high spots. I think Logan's going to have a lot to offer in this match too, because he, regardless of how tall he is, I think he's like 6'2" or something like that. Regardless of how tall he is also another high flying, athletic individual. So having, a big dude that can do the same shit and a little dude that can do some pretty wild shit, and Logan's charisma making him look good and then making Logan look good, I think it's just going to be a really well balanced match, and it's going to be a fun opening to the biggest party of the summer. So, man, I just, it's kind of hard who I want to win because I'm genuinely torn. I could definitely use some dubs for Ricochet because he is very underrated. If anything, his underdog status reminds me a lot of Rey Mysterio's in a way. Like, he has that same feeling. It's like, this dude is capable of so much bigger things, but he has this stereotype of being a cruiserweight where, Vince overlooks all of that shit, and we know it. Rey Mysterio was a very, and this might be a very hot take, and I could get heat for this, but unfortunately, with Eddie Guerrero's untimely passing, Rey Mysterio was fortunately the greatest superstar to take the reins after. It was a hot moment. I don't see that
I agree with
happening for
that.
Ricochet.
Yeah.
But Ricochet does have that same Rey Mysterio quality where this dude is larger than life, but he's harnessed by something keeping him back. So I would love to see a dub for him, but I can't deny how much I love Logan Paul. Like,
Yeah.
I used to just think he was that douchey fucking YouTuber. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be completely, 150. I thought he was just one of those douchey YouTubers, but ever since his first match, dude, like, I've been a fan. Like, the dude is just incredible in the ring, and there's no denying that all of this comes naturally to him. Like, he belongs in this industry. And the fact that he has a legitimate contract with WWE is mind-blowing to me. I never thought I was ever going to take this dude seriously and root for him in matches. Genuinely. He took fucking Roman Reigns to the fucking limits and made it believable. Like, who can fucking do that, dude? He was a YouTuber that's, I think, the same age as me. I think he's like a little bit, like a couple months older.
He's 27 or 28.
Yeah, he's literally, he's 28. So he's like a little bit older than me. And he is fucking killing it. He has main evented SummerSlam, I think. Or no, Saudi with fucking Roman. And fucking had one of the biggest viral moments by live streaming his dive, dude. I don't know who I'm choosing, but I think it's going to be a phenomenal match.
I knew from the get-go how good Logan Paul was going to be because I did follow his YouTube career, and I wasn't the biggest fan of his
I followed his
YouTube
boxing career too.
But, like, seeing everything that the Paul brothers do, they give it everything they have, and you can't deny that.
There's
Even if you like or you hate Jake Paul, you like or you hate Logan Paul,
they live on the
whatever
grind.
they do, they give it their everything, which is why I go into watching these social media boxing fights. Like Jake Paul, a lot of people sleep on him, and they say, oh, Ben Askren, he's going to knock him out. No. Even though people don't realize that Jake is, a couple steps ahead of
Here's
everybody
the thing.
else.
Jake Paul is a phenomenal boxer. The only thing I can't stand about Jake Paul is how fucking arrogant he is. Other than that, he's got it. There's no denying it. Like you said, the Paul brothers,
whatever
they live.
They give it their everything.
They live on the fucking grind. The grind is all they fucking know. And Logan, dude, is fuck, dude. Like, again, I don't know who I'm choosing in this match to win.
So, Danny, while Ben thinks about that, what's your thoughts on this build-up?
Fuck you.
In this match.
I think this is great, and I think, I was skeptical like everybody else, when Logan got his first contract or whatever. I wasn't quite sure how to think, because, like, having a match with The Miz, it's pretty easy to get through a match like that and have it look decent. You know what I mean?
I want to like The Miz, but
I don't think it was until he had that match with Roman and Saudi to where people, especially me, started taking him serious. Like, this kid definitely has a bright future in this. And, Ricochet, Me personally, I think the dude has more talent in his right arm than majority of the people that are signed to WWE
Thank
and
you.
on the main roster or in NXT.
Thank you.
But he's never had that big opportunity. And even though, people can say, oh,
Personality. That's his only weakness.
people can say that he's only facing a YouTuber, this and that, but
Rey
people don't
Mysterio did it. He
understand,
can
like,
too.
Logan Paul is a superstar. He's a self-made superstar in a lot of ways. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So there's a lot of eyes on because everybody wants, even from his time on YouTube, boxing, whatever it is, people watch Logan Paul. They don't watch him to like him. They watch him to see him fail. So whatever he does, there's a
Same with his
lot.
brother.
There's a lot of eyes on what
And
he
he's
does.
so good, which makes it unfortunate. So people keep watching.
Just like his brother in
So-
boxing, Jake.
Yup.
all those eyes,
Right on the head, Don.
all those eyes that are going to be on Logan are now going to be on Ricochet as well because he's in the ring with him. I think this is going to do wonders for Ricochet's career. I think, is he a great promo? No. Does he have a lot of personality? No. But I feel like he could be a lot worse than he is when it comes to speaking.
Very true. I
actually
will
don't-
say this. I
Absolutely.
will
Thank
say
you.
this from watching Monday Night Raw. These promos with Ricochet and Logan Paul have been fantastic, and Ricochet has been holding his own.
Like I will say,
I agree.
he suffers from the Rey Mysterio curse, but Rey Mysterio fucking overcame it. Ricochet can too, and this is a massive opportunity for him.
I just don't feel like WWE's ever allowed Ricochet to really they allow him to go out and do his acrobat stuff, whatever, but they've never really let him like go out and like cut a promo. They've never really let him like express like who he really is until this point.
Because I think he
So,
wasn't
I don't-
ready before, which is why they waited until now.
all the faults that Ricochet has, I
And
don't put the
kudos to
blame.
his persistence too.
I don't put the blame on him because he's never had those opportunities. I blame WWE creative for pretty much holding him back. You know what I
I
mean?
get it, man. No, I get you,
So,
man.
Yeah, no.
I think this is gonna do wonders for Ricochet. This is it's gonna bring a whole new audience to him that aren't quite sure what he's all about.
Now let me ask you something, Dan. Are you as torn as I am when it comes to fucking picking who wins? Because I feel like nobody
Don't
gets
say
hurt
who
in
you
the
want
long
to
run.
win either.
Don't say it,
Mm,
but
No,
torn.
because I know who's gonna win, and
Really?
I'm not gonna say who.
Okay.
I'll save that.
Okay.
But all I can say is
I don't see a loser in
the
this situation.
The last 2 or 3 matches in a row that Logan's had, he's lost. Could he really?
You motherfucker! Just leave it at that. Let Don.
Yeah, I was about to say,
just
let
saying.
me give my thoughts,
Let
motherfucker.
Don talk, motherfucker.
So, my thoughts on Logan Paul versus Ricochet. I think that this is a fantastic way for Ricochet to get this big opportunity that he deserves. He's been in WWE for quite some time now, and he hasn't really had a big singles match on one of the big premier live events. And I think that putting him in the ring against Logan Paul, there's no better opponent for him. This makes perfect sense. They had the viral moment at the Royal Rumble. You build that animosity towards Money in the Bank. And I love the way that Ricochet has been presented. Same with Logan Paul. Like, Logan is really getting comfortable now with the WWE universe and, calling them virgins and calling them brain dead and really cutting deep into the crowd. And he's even breaking the fourth wall this past Monday on Raw. He, called out his girlfriend, Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer on Raw. And it really made the storyline even more interesting and more personal.
Thicker
And I think
substance.
Ricochet has needed a solid rivalry, and he hasn't had that yet. Logan Paul's bringing the best out in Ricochet, personality-wise, and I think Ricochet's bringing out Logan, the best in Logan.
My God, you both are on fucking
excited.
fire tonight, dude. All
I'm
right,
excited
so
for this match.
I'll give my first thoughts on who I'm going to take. I'm going to be the odd one out, and as much as I love Logan Paul, I'm going to quote the great LA Knight. He's as useful as a pair of basketball cleats. I'm going to go with Ricochet because he needs the fucking moment. So I'm going to go with my boy. I'm going to go with the homegrown. Let's go.
I gotta go with Logan. For the simple fact that, like I said, He lost at Royal Rumble, lost at WrestleMania, lost at Money in the Bank. I don't necessarily know if he could afford to lose another match. And I do feel like even if Ricochet loses, let's
It's not
say
gonna look
like
bad
this,
on him. It's gonna be a great match.
let's say there's some kind of outside interference or something like that, or something happens. Like it's
Jake
still
makes his debut finally.
Ricochet's still gonna look like $1,000,000. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, even if Ricochet loses, I think he can always get it back. Say they have a rematch at like Survivor Series or something. Ricochet's still gonna look like $1,000,000.
So now I have to pick. I'm in the middle here, and it makes sense because I'm the bottom bitch for
I'm
this.
glad that you are torn as I am.
And I can't believe I'm going to say this because I normally don't agree with this person a lot.
Oh, fuck. Here we go. Yep. Just say
I
it.
got to
Rip the
go
Band-Aid
with
off.
Danny, and I'm going to say Logan
I
Paul
respect it.
because he hasn't won in a while a big match. And Ricochet, it's not going to affect him
It's not.
because it's going to put more eyes on him and more people are going to root for him and he's going to get that underdog storyline. But this time it's going to work because there's more eyes on him. We're starting to really see him come out of his shell personality wise. And I just think that Logan Paul needs this win more than Ricochet. I think that regardless, it doesn't affect, Ricochet if Logan wins.
Plus,
No,
with
100%.
this heel
And
persona
Logan's
that
going to
Logan
cheat
Paul
too.
has,
Oh,
yes.
obviously.
Plus this heel persona that Logan has, it'll add more arrogance to
Yeah.
him. That way, when Ricochet or LA Knight or whoever it is, once they do beat him, the crowd's just gonna fucking erupt.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
absolutely. It's going to be great.
So,
Look at that. Great way to start off the predictions. Moving on now to our next match here for the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre.
Hell yeah, man.
And wait, Ben, before you give your thoughts on this,
What up, Ben?
a while back, I was going back into the old podcast, and a while back, I predicted that Drew McIntyre versus Gunther was going to happen at WrestleMania, but now it's happening at SummerSlam in a singles match. Just wanted to put that out there.
You also predicted that Drew Galloway was gonna show up at All In, so
Hey, sometimes you
Hey.
just gotta, swing. If you strike out, it is what it is.
Hey, but he swung, though. That's all that matters. So when it comes to this match, obviously, it's going to be a 5-star. Drew McIntyre, man, former WWE champion, 2-time WWE champion, mind you. He carried the Thunderdome era. The dude has come a long way from Drew Galloway, 3MB. He really cemented a name for himself in this second run with WWE. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. I think he's one of the cleanest wrestlers that we have today. And now let's talk about Gunther. The dude has been on top of it. He's on his way to breaking Honky Tonk's record, and I think he's going to succeed that. I think that he is the next Roman Reigns, if I'm going to be completely honest. That's a hot take, but I think they're building him to be the next Roman. He's going to be a fucking force to reckon with. I mean, the dude is already the longest reigning fucking NXT UK champion. The dude was fucking champion for a grip, and fucking Ilya Dragunov finally took him out.
I feel like I can compare Gunther to JBL. It's going to be one of those Great Depression World Championship runs.
Absolutely.
Except I'm going to enjoy it because I love Gunther.
He is fucking phenomenal. There's no denying that he is one of the best technical and old school wrestlers that we have today. I mean, his fucking motto is the mat is sacred. It's like he is basically the torchbearer of, old school wrestling and, what it used to be. The dude is phenomenal. There is no extravagant skill in his moveset, but every skill he does have and represents is fucking blockbuster. The dude is just a force to be reckoned with, and I think that putting him with Drew McIntyre, that's already a 5-star fucking headline. Those two guys are some of Europe and fucking some of Europe's best. There's some of literally two of Europe's best, and you're putting them on again one of the fucking Mount Rushmore 5 pay-per-views of WWE's history and wrestling in general. I mean, this is going to be a big fucking match. And again, I'm torn with who I want to win, but I know who's going to win, and I'm not unhappy with it,
Yep.
Dude is they're fucking two dominant superstars, and this is just going to be a heavy hitting match, man. And I think this one's going to be really technical, to the mat. I think we're going to get some pretty decent high spots. I think that it's going to be one of the longer matches on the card. I think that we're going to be seeing some two really, really big swinging dudes going at it. So I'm really excited for it.
How do you feel about it, Danny?
I'm a huge fan of Gunther. I have been since he was Walter in NXT. I didn't watch much NXT UK. Just never really jumped on the bandwagon there. But I gotta say, man, his matches, his series of matches that he had with Ilya Dragunov on NXT Black and Gold,
Oh, fuck.
some of the most hard hitting matches I've ever seen in
Fuck.
my life. And those two dudes worked fucking stiff with each other. You could tell
Yeah, dude.
some of those shots and those shots. Oh my god, bro.
It felt almost personal.
Oh yeah. So we know what Drew McIntyre is capable of. We know what Gunther is capable of. Obviously they want Gunther to break Honky Tonk Man's record, which is I think sometime around September. The thing that's weird about that is even once they hit pay to WWE Payback, that he still hasn't caught up to Honky Tonk Man's record. It's not until after. So if Gunther does lose the title, it's obviously not going to be until like Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles, WrestleMania, whatever it is.
Mhm.
Um, this match easily could go 15, 20 minutes. I do think with these two and the way they work with each other, I do think they should give them a good amount of time. I don't think this is a match that you can really rush, especially if you do want to, book Gunther to be like the next guy once Roman is finished. Which is why I think they're gonna do. And with Drew McIntyre, when he showed back up at what was it, Money in the Bank he showed
Money in
back
the
up?
Bank in the UK.
We all speculated, oh my god, he signed a new contract, this and that. Apparently he didn't. He came
No,
back to
he's
work.
like a free agent right now. Oh,
He's
approaching
not a free agent. He's still under contract
September, right?
until next year.
Oh, next
But
year. Okay.
the longer he would have stayed out, the longer he would have had to stay in WWE because they would have put a hold and a freeze on his contract. So his contract wouldn't have expired when he wanted it to. So I mean, I don't know what their plans are with Drew McIntyre. They're obviously they're gonna want to make him happy, so he signs. They're not gonna want to potentially have him go somewhere else. Even though, personally, if he ended up going to AEW or Impact or whatever it is, I think he would come back an even bigger star than he is now.
Oh yeah.
And that would do tremendous for him personally. But obviously with this match, obviously we know who's gonna win, but they're still gonna want to book Drew McIntyre strong. They're still gonna want to make him as happy as they possibly can without having Gunther drop the title to him. So
Yeah. So, my thoughts about this match, it's going to be a great technical match. I think, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre, the build has been pretty good. I do like how it all started at Money in the Bank. You have, Gunther beat Riddle, and then that's when McIntyre comes back, gets a massive pop, and it makes sense because, Sheamus was involved at WrestleMania. So now Drew McIntyre gets him one on one.
yeah,
And I think that this does make a lot of sense too, because Drew McIntyre just came back. Even though we all know the outcome, McIntyre, a lot of the times when somebody comes back, they want them to win big matches. So that's something we also do have to consider as well. And it is going to be interesting because I think that, the build for this, I think the outcome of this is what's going to be, I think, the best part about this, because I don't see Drew McIntyre being a face by the end of this year. I
You
think
think he's
know,
gonna
that
have a heel turn?
eventually we're getting Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes.
what I could
Really?
see happening. You know what I could see happening.
Drew's interested in fighting Cody. He did say that.
I could
Really?
see. So with this match, I'm not quite sure if this match between Gunther is gonna end in a clean finish. I kind of hope it doesn't, because both these guys need to look fucking strong as hell, coming out of this match. So what could they do? Could they do like a double count out, a double disqualification? Could they do something to where Drew McIntyre loses, but he doesn't lose? moves, if that makes sense.
Honestly, a double count out would be insane if they did a pretty cool
Like they
spot
just beat the hell
outside.
out of each other so bad that neither one of them can get up for a count of 10.
Yeah, and that can lead to another match at Payback. They could do like a last man standing or something. There is ways to do this. But guys, who do we have winning this match?
Gunther, and obviously
gotta-
for obvious reasons.
I gotta go with Gunther, man. You know, their WWE is really hell bent on, on a lot of the new crop of guys breaking a lot of the old school records. So, Gunther is definitely my pick, and I don't think he's gonna lose his title until they're ready to really give him the WWE title. So
I see him dropping it around Rumble, like maybe like Survivor Series. Like
All
I
I know
actually
is
see,
I
'cause
found-
then
I-
it'll give him time to cut off Vinci and fucking Ludwig as well. So
I hope they don't do that, but man,
Vinci and Kaiser, they add so much to Gunther, though, who he is.
yo, oh man. Here's all I gotta say: the Gunter is gonna win this match because he's the ring general. But this past Monday, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I would not complain if Chad Gable's the one to take the title off of Gunter.
yeah, dude, Chad Gable's underrated as fuck. So
Because that match between him and Gunter, that was so good. There was no reason for it to be so good on a random episode of Monday Night Raw.
I haven't watched Raw in about 2 weeks, so
That's a
they
good
both
one.
come from the same style, so they probably were just told, hey, have fun with it, and made a good technical match. So that's probably good chemistry because they both come from the same style.
I could see Drew. I don't think Chad Gable and I don't know. I don't necessarily know if Chad Gable and Gunther would be a good match just because they're totally different. I could see.
Watch Raw.
Well, watch Raw. That's all I got to tell you, man, about
I saw it too,
I-
so watch Raw.
I feel like I would prefer Gable and McIntyre.
That'd be a good match, but Gunther and Gunther and Gable come from the same kind of style, and again, watch Raw, man, and then give your thoughts then. Seriously,
That's
watch
right.
that match.
So,
Watch
but
that
we do
match.
all have the ring general winning this match.
Yes, we do.
Ring General.
All right,
In the ring
moving on
general.
now to our next match on the card. We have the Make Everybody Happy match. We have the SummerSlam Battle Royal presented by Slim Jim.
LA Knight.
Can
Yeah, LA Knight.
we skip this match?
LA Knight. This is
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be the
pretty
start of
much
the big
going to be
push.
LA Knight. We all know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
LA Knight. Yeah, even Donnie's like, yeah, LA Knight.
I'm so out of the loop, bro. I didn't know this match existed. So
Well, they did this because a lot of people were upset when LA Knight lost the tournament for the U.S. title, and
So they
then the
wanted
U.S.
to win
title's
now?
not happening at SummerSlam, so they needed to, grab Triple H's sledgehammer and do some repairing. And they said,
Oh,
okay,
shit.
let's do
I
a
love
Battle
how-
Royal and let's make everybody happy by just throwing them all in. We're
I
going to
love
put
how-
LA Knight, Sheamus, and a bunch of jabronis in there.
I love how WWE.
Yeah!
You fucking asshole. I love that.
Bro, I
Oh my
love-
God.
I love.
Uh,
Can we
Knight's
sit here and
gonna hit Roll
appreciate?
out. Yeah! He's going to be
Yeah.
chucking all the guys in catering. Yeah!
Can we just sit here and appreciate? Can we sit here and appreciate that WWE
Made a whole ass
ma-
match to make the fans happy.
Presented by Slim Jim.
did a major fuck up. Got
All the
called out on their
jabronis and
bullshit.
catering over the top rope. Both feet are going to be touching the floor.
Stop.
LA Knight is going to win this match. He's going to eliminate everybody one by one. Yeah. Moving on now to our
Yeah.
next match on the card. We have an MMA rules match.
Ooh.
Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey.
MMA rules? So they're
Yes.
actually gonna hit each other?
It's I don't,
Yes.
I don't know if they're. I don't know. If
Yeah,
they're gonna
shut
go
the fuck
that
up. They're gonna hit, dude. If I see hits landing, I'm gonna call it immediately. Yeah, it's gonna be lit.
I think
It's gonna
this
be
is
lit. It's
more.
gonna be
I
so
think.
good.
I think this match is gonna be all about more like the technical wrestling, the submissions, the takedowns, stuff like that. That's what I think.
This match, I
MMA
think,
rules
is just gonna be to put Shayna over.
I feel
on
like they
Ronda's
could.
way out.
I feel like they could have did this match in a fight pit. I mean, I just
That would
don't.
have been the best place.
It's fucking common sense, man. At the end of the day, it's common sense.
This one
But
should have been filmed, like specifically for the match, like 100%, just because it's so. there's so much you could do with Shayna and Ronda immediately.
when,
like there's so
Well,
much.
that's the thing. You don't need to have it recorded though, because in the fight pit matches on NXT, like it's basically a cage, but like they have like the platform around the top of the cage.
Riddle and
so you
and
could have
Seth were
definitely
in a
done that.
Riddle and Seth were in a
Yeah.
fight pit match the night that Bray Wyatt returned. That's what a fight pit is.
Oh yeah, for Extreme Rules.
You talking about them pre-filming something? That reminds me. Remember when Steve Blackman and Owen Hart had the match in the Owen Hart in the Hart
It was
Dungeon
Ken
or whatever?
Shamrock,
Ken Shamrock.
the Lion
I
Den
mean-
match.
That was wild, bro.
But yeah, no, I think like with Ronda versus Shayna, I gotta say this. The feud was definitely left field, and I wasn't really behind it that much until this past Monday. That video package that they did with Shayna and Ronda, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. I have not been the biggest fan of Shayna Baszler, even going back to NXT.
Some of her best work, man.
This video package did wonders for me. I am very behind Shayna Baszler. I am now
go.
on that bandwagon train. The Queen
Let's
of
fucking
Spades
go.
is
Can,
fucking here, baby.
Can I sit here and admit something to you guys?
You want to fuck Shayna Baszler?
Ew, no. She's more man. She's probably got hairier knuckles than me.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
When they were, because obviously on WWE and TV or whatever, they exaggerate things. They pull shit out of a hat and see what works.
Yeah.
I did not seriously know that Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler legitimately knew each other as long as they have. I thought they just were talking that shit.
Yeah, they go way back, man.
Yeah,
I
dude.
did
They're
not-
both
I-
MMA fighters.
Until I saw that video package that you sent me. I watched it yesterday.
I told you.
I did not know.
What was
I
your
will
thoughts on the
say-
video package?
I really enjoyed it, and Shayna Baszler talking
I
about
fucking
being
told you would, motherfucker.
talking about being Ronda Rousey's daughter's godmother or whatever it
Bitch.
is, and she's gonna grow up knowing the fact that I heard her mother. I'm
Ooh.
I'm sold on the match,
Juicy.
but I'm not sold on the match type. I still think you have these two dominant forces coming over from the UFC, making a name for themselves in this other world, which is pro wrestling.
He's pissed they're not hitting
Put
each
them
other,
in
Chris.
a fucking octagon. Put them in a fight pit match. You can obviously it's still going to be MMA rules. Let them just beat the fuck out of
Do
each other.
you know how long that healing time would be for Shayna?
Well, it would obviously be sports entertainment, so like it wouldn't be legitimate. But
He
like I see
wants
what
them
he's
to
trying
hit-
to. I
no.
see what he's saying.
He wants them to actually hit each other like in the UFC. And I said, do you understand how long Shayna would be out of action because of that? They don't
I
want
will
that.
say
They want
I
to
do
further the
want to
story.
see. I do want to see Ronda Rousey at least get one clean punch on Shayna's eye or something, because that would add so much to Shayna's character.
Thank you. That I can do. That I can 100% do. But for
But
like
I gotta
story
say
purposes,
though,
yeah.
Danny is on point.
Yeah,
though.
dude, he is. He is 100% on
Don't get
point.
me wrong. The MMA rules, we don't know what to expect during this. But a fight pit
They
would have
genuinely could.
definitely added so much
Yeah,
more
dude.
to this.
Dan's
And honestly,
been on
I'm going to
fire.
say this about SummerSlam. Just at total. I'll say
Yeah.
this. The one thing that this Premier Live event is lacking is stipulations. And I can't wait to fucking rant about Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar later on in the predictions.
Oh god.
We need stipulations. And okay, the MMA rules, I'll give them credit for that, but they should be in a fight pit. Let's be real. If there was a time and a place for a fight pit, literally you got
Especially
two golden gooses right there.
Especially
Ronda and
if this
Shayna.
is Ronda's last match before she goes over to UFC again. It's common fucking sense at the end of the day, guys.
Well,
and
she's
you
probably-
could have Shayna dominate in that fight pit. You could have Ronda get some color, and then there you go. For Survivor Series, Shayna versus Rhea. Because she would look
Ooh.
like a legitimate threat.
Ooh, that's juicy.
There's
Like,
a
it's
lot of
just-
possibilities, man. But I gotta say this. I am very behind this match, and I'm definitely looking
Yeah,
forward to
I'm
it.
stoked
Who
for
do
it.
we got winning this?
Shayna.
I got to go with Shayna just because all the rumors and Ronda Rousey leaving the UFC,
Shayna.
whatever. She's gonna put Shayna over huge.
I'm going to have to go with Shayna, and I really hope that Ronda makes her look really good in this because I'm really behind her, and I really hope from here she can keep that momentum because I think we got something going now.
Yep.
Yep.
But moving on now to the next match, the no stipulation match. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar 3.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
You guys already know how I feel about this match, and I'm not gonna go on like any kind of major rant, not for the sake of being toxic, like a lot
No,
of people
I'm
call
just
me.
honestly, I'm just down to say who I think is gonna win and just move on. Like this
Yeah.
is the one match, and it's unfortunate to say that I really don't care about it. Like I really don't. Like, and that's unfortunate because I'm a huge Cody fan.
Cody Rhodes going into WrestleMania, and it was a huge topic of discussion that leading up to WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes didn't really have much screen time. Back and forth with Roman, it was pretty much Cody talking to Paul Heyman or Cody cutting a promo on Raw and then randomly showing up on SmackDown. Like there wasn't any hype there. Like the match was huge, obviously, because let's face it, the match is huge because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Cody Rhodes, obviously, I feel like he's bigger now because of the pec injury and the match that he had with Seth Rollins than he was originally when he came back to WWE. But I feel like having Cody Rhodes have a feud for the last couple of months, after WrestleMania, because he was red hot even after he lost that match because he got screwed and he didn't lose clean, so he was still red hot. This Brock feud has done absolutely nothing to add any more hype. Like the crowd reaction, the merchandise sales, all that shit is totally different.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes has very little momentum going into whatever the fuck he's going to be doing next after this feud with Brock. And that's my issue. And we me, Donnie, you and me talked on the Facebook group chat. You sort of tried to explain to me like, this is personal between Brock and Cody. I don't see how.
I did.
We still have no legitimate reason as to why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes the night after WrestleMania. It came out on commentary that night that Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes because he was upset he wasn't in the main event at WrestleMania. Well,
but that's always been a Brock thing, was jealousy, which is why I think WWE tried to approach it like everybody should know Brock by now. But you have to realize with a wrestling audience, we don't think about that stuff, which is why they should have had Brock come out, explain why he attacked Cody, to, really solidify the storyline. So I do see where you're coming from.
You have two guys, man. Two huge megastars, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar. And you have very little story or very little situations to put them in together.
Yeah, so can we just choose who we're going to think is going to win? Because there is no substance, and I agree with you. Like, I agree.
It's going to be Cody. It's going to be.
But I do want to. I do want to add something to what Danny was saying without coming off crazy about the match. My only issue, there's no stipulation. I have been behind this feud. I'm not gonna lie. Going from WrestleMania to Backlash, I was not a fan of Cody versus Brock. I think that they should have explained what happened. But then going into Backlash, we had Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Brock got color. And that's where I got interested in this storyline. Because then the next night on Raw, Brock breaks Cody's arm because of, embarrassing him at a Premier Live event. Because we've never seen Brock, get his ass whooped like that. So it really added to it. Then going into Night of Champions, like the whole brace thing on the arm, I will say that was fucking stupid. But they had a match at Night of Champions. Brock, ended up winning 1-1. This would have been the perfect time to, because I did really like how Brock, beat the shit out of Cody in front of his mother. I did like that, but I wish we had a stipulation because there has been some animosity built between both guys.
I get it.
And we've seen it throughout the years, like with some of the greatest rivalries. We get 3 matches, even with Seth and Cody recently. Their third match was inside that Hell in the Cell. Great way to finish their feud. Brock versus Cody, we should have had 3 stages of hell or last man standing or something.
I feel like when they
And I'll
were
leave it
in
as that.
when they were in Cody Rhodes' hometown, and his mom and his sister and everybody was there, to cheer him on. The
Yeah.
hometown kid. I feel like they missed a major opportunity by having Brock Lesnar come through the crowd and add his mother to the storyline, like intimidate his mother, maybe like pick up Cody's mother and like walk away with her, act like he's gonna like beat her ass. Like it just
I don't think she
it
Okay,
wants
now
to
you're
do
getting
that.
way too
A
You're
little,
getting way too. Yeah,
too
this is where we're gonna
exaggerated
cut.
now.
Yeah, this is
All
where we're
right, so who do
gonna.
we got winning this match
Bro,
now?
I'm gonna go. No, 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 no,
No,
nope,
no, no.
nope,
We're
nope,
gonna
nope, nope,
we're
nope,
gonna
no.
pick
This is
who's
the
gonna
one
win.
thing. Nope. Cody, obviously, because I agree with both of you on many points. But yeah, Cody.
Who do you got, Danny?
I got Cody. You guys aren't even gonna let me explain my thoughts,
Nope.
though.
Nope, you lost me at fucking pick up his mother. So no.
What about what about
No,
the
no,
time?
no.
No,
What about
no.
no?
Let's hear him out. Let's hear him out.
Okay, fine,
What
fine.
about the time Diamond Dallas Page stalked Undertaker's wife? What about the time that Kane
Attitude
tried to
Era.
picked up Stephanie McMahon and threatened to throw her over a fucking?
I remember both those
Attitude
points.
Era.
Those made sense. But those people were also fucking above
TV-14.
the age of fucking 60. So no.
It doesn't matter, bro.
It does matter.
I don't think his mother wants to be lifting him.
No.
Fucking God. Donnie, pick who the fuck you have and just go. It was going so good. We gave him so many props and he got way too creative. We let the shit go to his head. We let the shit go. No, it's going to your fucking head. No.
Knowing how
No, knowing nothing. Knowing nothing. No. The moment you brought up his mom, it was done. No.
He's gonna take-
Intimidate, yes, but
he's gonna
pick her
take-
up.
He's gonna take his
No.
mother to Suplex City. And give
That's
her
what
an
I'm saying. He was about to say, "Oh fuck, Brock Lesnar hit Cody's mom with the F5." Stipulation. No.
You know what I'm thinking of is the time where Stone Cold gave Vince that first stutter, and Vince goes, "Imagine his mother."
We all saw what happened to John Cena's dad. He went the wrong way.
Oh my God, Brian! Oh fuck!
All right. Next
All
match,
right,
I
just say you got Cody and let's move on. Oh, next match and you got to go.
Yeah.
I bet.
So I do got Cody Rhodes.
All right,
But
bet.
moving on now to our next match before Danny, has
Clear
to
your
go.
tears, son. God loves you.
All right, moving on now to our next match that we have here is for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Seth
Ooh.
freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor.
This one's gonna be juicy to talk about.
But Ben, here's the thing. Since
What?
Danny has to go after this match,
Oh,
you notice why I did this?
Yeah.
Why?
Because Danny, you're a little bit toxic, so we didn't want to hear you talk about Charlotte Flair. So I did save that for you, buddy.
Oh,
Thank God. Thank God. Okay, I can.
You see, I did wonders for the We
Now
Are
I'm
Wrestling.
fucking crying.
cast.
All
right.
So, Danny, what's your thoughts on, Seth versus Finn?
I like what they've been doing. This is a very hard match to really like determine who's gonna win, because Finn Balor's been strong. The entire Judgment Day has been strong. There's been a lot of animosity between Finn and Damian. And a lot of that does have to do with the world title, obviously. Finn wants the world title. He wants redemption. The redemption arc for him is crazy, because when
7
he won
years.
the Universal title, the next night he had to forfeit it because of injury, and he never had that opportunity again. So this means a lot to him to, redeem what he lost and he never was able to gain back. But also you have one of his best friends, one of his, close friends, who is a part of Judgment Day as well, Damian Priest, who has the briefcase. Obviously, Damian is not going to cash in on Roman Reigns. He'd be a fucking idiot, and I mean, I don't necessarily want to see that anyway.
I don't think
Wouldn't
he's gonna.
exactly be a great match.
Nope.
So the only other option is, I mean, unless he did it on an NXT title, which it's WWE.
Sweet
let's
baby
face
Jesus,
it.
no.
The only other
Watch
option
it.
is the World Heavyweight title that Seth Rollins has. So one of two things could happen. One, Rollins retains and then Damian Priest cashes in after the match, or 2, Finn Balor wins, and again that adds more animosity between him and Damian because Damian can cash in at any time. So Finn Balor has it in the back of his head, like, this dude's supposed to be my brother, but
Yep.
will he really fuck me over like that? You know
So,
what I mean?
like Danny said, there's 2 ways this could go. One, I think Damien's gonna have a lot of play as to what happens because it's been building for a while. And let's face it, Judgment Day are a package deal. I think 100%, since obviously this is Finn's last chance, like his second chance to do it. It's going to be a hard one to decide because again, when we have one avenue, Seth retains, and it's all because of interference with Damien. 2, Finn wins, and like Danny said, he can cash in at any time. So what better way to get that animosity going by cashing in immediately after Finn wins? You never know. Ultimate opportunist, man. You got to do what you got to do. But I feel like Damien would feel for himself that it'd be a better payoff to cash in on Seth and not just fucking take the easy way out.
Ooh.
I
I
think
don't.
that would be a little bit more of a stature to prove rather than just taking it in the easy way and just being like, yeah, new champion, where you could work for it a little bit more. So there's a lot of avenues this can go down.
If Seth wins, if Seth beats Finn Balor, I could see Damian Priest cashing in that night. If Finn loses, I could see Damian Priest sort of toying with Finn Balor. Like, maybe I'll cash in,
I
maybe I
can see that
won't.
too.
You never know what could happen. I can see Finn Balor. If Finn Balor wins, I can see Damian Priest coming out at the top of the stage, maybe giving him a little glance, doing this, and then maybe holding up the briefcase, and that's how that segment goes off air.
And that's the thing about the Money in the Bank contract that makes this so interesting is that there's so many different possibilities here. And that's why I'm really behind the Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor match. I think that this is definitely going to be one of their best matches that they put on. And honestly, I'm getting really behind Finn Balor lately. I know, on the podcast a few months ago, he was getting a little stale with the Judgment Day, and I wanted, them to turn on Finn, but I want them to wait now. I want them to wait a little longer, maybe towards, WrestleMania season, so that we do get a bigger payoff where you could have at WrestleMania Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Maybe put the World Heavyweight title involved.
No, of
There's
course.
a
You
lot
have
of
to. It's
different
Mania.
possibilities there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here's what I think is going to happen. And I think nobody is thinking about this. Nobody is talking about this. And I'm going to be the one to start this conversation.
Okay.
I think JD McDonough is going to join the Judgment Day at SummerSlam, and he's going to cost Seth Rollins that World Heavyweight title.
That's not
And
a
Damian will not cash in on Finn Balor because they're all going to be, celebrating with gold. Because Dominic has the North American Championship. Rhea's got the World Heavyweight Champion. Priest has the briefcase. Finn Balor's going to have the world title. And then JD McDonough is going to, get involved with the Judgment Day, I think, at SummerSlam. What better way for him to really, re-debut than, on a premier live event like SummerSlam?
That's kind of how they
Maybe.
did with Rhea and Damian, didn't they? Before they joined Judgment Day with Edge, didn't they were taken off TV for a little while, weren't they? A couple weeks.
Yep, they were.
And
And
JD
that's the
McDonough
thing
hasn't been
that is
seen in a
going,
while.
and that's what I'm saying. And Damian, you have to realize, Finn Balor right now does not trust Damian Priest as much. But if there's one thing that we have seen a little bit of with backstage is JD McDonough and Finn Balor's relationship, because they do go way back. So it only does make sense that Finn trusts JD. JD comes in, screws Seth Rollins. Finn Balor gets the win, gets massive heat.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So who do
There's
we
that
got
too.
winning this?
Seth Rollins. I'm gonna, go with Seth, honestly.
Absolutely fair.
He wants to bring prestige to the title, and obviously, hot take, but he's today's Triple H. What baby wants, baby gets.
Yep.
He's got a lot of pull now, man. He's one of the big faces, and he's got one of the highest paid contracts in the business right now.
I think Seth Rollins is gonna win,
we want to give benefit of a doubt.
but I'm gonna say that Finn Balor is definitely a black horse. Kind of like how we thought LA Knight was gonna win Money in the Bank, but it ended up being Damian Priest. You know what I mean? So either way,
I respect it.
I won't be disappointed with the outcome, and
All right.
those are my favorite matches. Because
And who I'm gonna say, I got Finn Balor. I think that we're
Okay.
getting a new champion, and it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens here.
All right, man. I respect that. I respect you guys' fucking choices.
But I gotta go, man. So I hope you guys appreciate, the time that we got to spend together.
Yeah.
Yes, we do not have to hear Danny's thoughts on Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, man.
Hallelujah.
That is a fucking lifesaver, man. Well, you have a good rest of the day with the kiddos, and we'll see you in the next one, bro. We'll see you SummerSlam.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't mind going golfing with Charlotte Flair, but what I am saying is I wouldn't need a ball.
The biggest blockbuster of the summer, SummerSlam, is right around the corner. And We Are Wrestling will be live Saturday, August 5th, 2023 on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel for the SummerSlam Watch Along. So grab yourself a nice cold beverage, grab yourself a freeze pop, and come watch SummerSlam with the We Are Wrestling crew, Saturday, August 5th. So this Saturday on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, we're going to be doing a live SummerSlam watch along, and we're all going to be in person, so nobody's going to be 5 seconds ahead, nobody's going to be 5 seconds behind. We're all going to be watching it in the same place at the same time, and it's going to be a massive watch along. So we do recommend you guys to, come to the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time for the SummerSlam watch along. But we got one more match and the main event to cover. You ready?
Let's fucking go.
And thank goodness Danny is not here to cover this. So the next match we have here is a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's World Championship. Asuka defending the championship against Bianca Belair versus Danny's favorite, Charlotte Flair.
This is unfortunately one of those matches I really don't fucking care about. Like, it makes like little to kind of no sense. I mean, like, we got Bianca who's teetering on a final heel turn finally, which I think there's been internal talks about, about her fucking finally turning heel. And then you got Charlotte Flair, who I think is playing a babyface in this, and then Bianca is a heel, right?
It's like
not Bianca, fucking
she's
Asuka.
starting to show some attitude.
Asuka's
the heel. Yes.
Okay, so it's like we're already in a very strange mixture in just that alone. So I'm like, I view this kind of as a very experimental match, just because again, it makes little to no fucking sense. We got someone who's butthurt because their fucking overstayed reign is over. We got one person who's just a fucking lunatic, and then we got another person who's just, I've always been in front of the line, so I might as well take back the title. Thanks for holding it for me. Then even though her shit's been overstayed for a while too. I mean, cool for the babyface route, but I still see Charlotte Flair as a fucking heel no matter what, So it's like
I've been enjoying her babyface run since Triple H has been doing things,
and that's cool. That's cool. I love that, but at the same time, I'm like, it just. There's no charisma in this match, if you know what I mean, like it doesn't feel like a big match. It's not one that I'm saying like, dude, I can't fucking wait, because there have been in recent times some women's led matches that I've been fucking hyped for, dude. Just not this one, like this one is very stale to me, where it's like, all right, we got 3 incredible competitors who could all use a fucking makeover. If you know what I mean, like it just.
No, it makes sense, yeah.
And it feels like a very jumbled match that is, you got these people that could definitely go in all different directions right now that don't really need to be having a program together, So that makes it very hard on who I think is going to win and who I even want to win, just it's weird. it's very peculiar. But before I decide on who I think is gonna win, what you got, bud?
So I do got to say this. I understand from, what you're trying to say here. I do
Hmm.
understand why Danny feels the way he feels about this. And like I understand a lot of other people's, reasons to it. Me personally, I am excited for this match. I do think that you are putting three of, your top women performers on a
Yeah,
big stage like SummerSlam. And I think that this is good because they all do need repackaging. I do agree with that. And I think Charlotte and Bianca, their feud, because they have been, going back and forth for the past, few weeks and months. And I think that this is going to lead to a feud between both of them because I think what's going to happen is this is going to be a great match. I think, putting these three on the spotlight like SummerSlam definitely is a good thing. And they have been trying to make this important, which I got to give WWE credit for that. But the problem is with Asuka as champion, and I've been saying this, she needs to have a manager. She needs to have a mouthpiece
yeah,
because as champion, she can't really cut promos. And they've been trying to have her, talk more on the microphone, which I do like that a lot. I think, she's fantastic in the ring. I think she definitely has personality, but I think that she does need somebody, to speak for her.
yeah. The language barrier is rough.
And it's unfortunate because I think that's why a lot of people aren't enjoying her title run as, the SmackDown Women's Champion.
Yeah, it is very heartbreaking because
And
like
I feel like a dick saying that. I really
it
do.
is.
And like,
Yeah.
I don't want people to take that, a
No,
certain way.
personally, no, of course. It just they're with language barriers. It's hard, man, because you can't sell a certain thing because the tone's just not coming off the same way, and it's nothing that they can help. It's nothing that people can help at all. It's just it's unfortunate because it plateaus her at a certain point. It's like, oh, Asuka, more Asuka. What can she? What else can she do? Other than just being fucking unhinged. It's just
But I
it's
do think the
unfortunate.
storyline, it does make sense now. The way that they did this triple threat match because it has been chaotic. Bianca Belair has been asking for her rematch for the championship. Adam Pearce won't give it to her. Charlotte Flair wants to cut in line because she's Charlotte Flair. So it does make sense there because she's always been in the title picture. So
Yeah.
honestly, putting all three of these women, on a big stage like SummerSlam definitely is a good move because they are three of the most, popular women. So it definitely is going to sell because of
Ah,
that.
man.
But who do we got winning this? Because I'll tell you who I got.
I know who I think I got winning this. Io
So,
Sky. I have Io Sky
you
winning this.
fucking asshole! You took
Yep.
my freaking prediction.
I got Io Sky winning this. I think that this is a
Come
platform
on, I was gonna
to.
like do this whole suspense thing, and I was gonna be like, I
Damn,
don't
I'm
think Bianca's gonna
sorry.
win. I don't think
I'm
Charlotte's gonna win. And I don't
sorry.
think Asuka's gonna win.
I'm
It's gonna be
sorry.
Io Sky. She's cashing in that money in the bank after Asuka retains her championship. We're getting that feud. They've already teased it with a couple
Yeah,
backstage
I
segments, and I
I
think
think so
that
too.
this is
Yeah.
what Asuka needs, and I think that Io Sky, cashing in
Yep.
on a stage like SummerSlam,
And what
perfect.
better time? Bailey's fucking injured right now, so what better time? So now it's like you get your time to shine, girl. Could happen at a better time.
Io
Yeah, Io
Sky,
Sky. Io Sky. And I don't think anybody really maybe they did, but I don't think anybody really saw that legitimately coming that we were gonna be like, none of them, Io Sky, bitch. Yeah, 100% Io Sky. I think it's her time to shine. I think, between her and Asuka, it'd be great, but it could also be bad because the language barrier. Like they could argue with each other. It could sell great in New Japan.
no,
I
but
don't know
here's the
about
thing that I will
WWE.
say from some of the backstage segments that I have seen with Io Sky, the language barrier isn't as bad on Io
No, it's
Sky as it
not,
is
but
Asuka.
still, to sell both of them at the same time, it just that's what makes it hard. So I could also see fucking Bianca winning and them having a feud because of Backlash. So it's like I could see that happening too. But either or, I think Io Sky. 100%. I think she's gonna get her moment at SummerSlam, and I'm stoked for it. And she is a Triple H fucking child. So let's go.
And
Let's go.
honestly, man, I don't know. I think a feud with Io Sky for Asuka will definitely make it more interesting. And
Hell yeah.
honestly, definitely something WWE should do
Yeah.
because it definitely would open the door more for like internationally.
Yes. Okay. Boom. All
But
right.
we do got
I'm with
Io
you.
Sky. But
Yep.
now moving on to the main event match for WWE SummerSlam 2023 for the WWE Universal Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso in
Oh,
the
motherfucker.
combat match.
Motherfucker, dude. Oh, God. I almost don't want to talk about it. I almost don't want to talk about it.
I'm gonna, start this off here, and
Go
I'm gonna
ahead.
say this.
Go ahead. Go
I've been
ahead.
saying it for a while, and I'm sure, the We Are Wrestling Maniacs are sick of me saying it. Jimmy is going to turn on Jay. Roman's going to retain the title. Jimmy's falling back in line.
Excuse me.
Yep, I know. It's unpopular opinion.
No,
I know
I'm not
there's a
saying
lot of
that.
Jay fans right now that are kicking rocks at me. They're pissed.
Oh, for sure. But at the same time, I understand where you're coming from. This is a podcast that we run. We're allowed to have our opinions. This is what makes it. What makes it it. I could see that happening. It's gonna piss me off, but I can see that happening. I don't see how that would benefit the story in any way. Like I'm just failing to see it. I feel as if it's gonna be more solo based. Like I think solo is gonna be like the reason in my opinion. But if there is gonna be interference, I think honestly that Jimmy's gonna help Jay and keep Solo out of it, and Roman is likely still gonna retain. But
After the match, maybe?
no, I don't see after the match because I feel like Jimmy would help Jay to help Jay, and I don't think that just because he couldn't seal the deal. I don't see that turn happening. This one's hard because this is main event Uso, bro. It started with Jay. It's got to end with Jay, man. Like out of
I
all
know.
people, it
I
just
know.
seems the timing just seems so right because I've been saying it for months. The dude is getting in ridiculous shape. The dude is getting in fucking ridiculous shape, and he's been carrying his own. And his promos, dude,
So good.
godlike, and that title looks really good in his hands, like really good and natural. Because who else to throw off the tribal chief than the inside and the person that's been closest to him this entire fucking time? The one person that literally was like, you literally lost your way, and fucking now it's like none of it matters. None of it. And if Roman were to lose, Solo, it gives him motive because it's like, I've been following the wrong fucking person this whole time. I've literally beaten the shit out of both of my brothers, and you want to call yourself the tribal chief? Boom. There's your Solo versus Roman. So it's like, that's titled the real tribal chief and who the fucking leader of the bloodline actually is.
Well, a
So
lot of
it's like,
people. Here's the thing, though, I do want to address as well, since we are covering this match. There are a lot of people that, are talking about this. So apparently on WWE, .com, they usually like have like the names of who's going to be, at the Premier Live events.
okay.
And the next three that are coming up, Roman Reigns' name is not on there. So there is a lot of fans that are speculating that Jay could win. But I want to be the one to say this. The same thing was happening after WrestleMania. Because going into WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, they didn't have his name on, the other Premier Live events that he was supposed to be on.
Who
And
knows?
then they ended up adding him in last minute after he beat Cody Rhodes.
Because plans were up in the air, and now plans are up in the air again. So it's like, I don't know. I think this is one of those ones where we're gonna really have to wait and see because I couldn't tell you, man. I couldn't tell you at this point just because who at this point You know, it's like, who? He's literally beat them all, including Cody. Who? Like, you know, it just,
I
and you
still
don't want to
think,
drag it
man,
out
it's
too
gonna. I
long.
still think WrestleMania 40, they're gonna find some way to get Cody Rhodes that championship.
Maybe. Who knows? But
you know what would be interesting too? That could benefit everybody in the bloodline.
what up, fam?
Well, Roman, you know, he has been going nonstop, and he could take a break. And by doing that, you could have Jey Uso win the championship from him. And then after the match with the celebration, with the pyros and the confetti, Jimmy super kicks Jey. And that can start a whole feud there. And then going into Payback, you can maybe do like a triple threat match, getting, you know, Solo Sikoa versus Jimmy versus Jey. And
Maybe.
that could open up a whole, you know, can of worms there.
That is a phenomenal fantasy booking. That is A+
Unfortunately,
fantasy
it's not
booking.
going to happen, though.
That'd
But
be
honestly,
phenomenal.
I do got to say they have done a fantastic job with this build, and they have built this to this moment here. And
3
we
years,
both said
man.
it at Money in the Bank. I really swerved you into the right direction. And Danny kind of lost his marbles a little bit from it, but I think he's getting back to normal.
He's finally starting to digress a little bit.
It made sense why Jimmy's going against Roman, because he was the one that pinned him at Money in the Bank. And I think that, you know, this tribal combat match is definitely going to be interesting. We don't know what to expect because we've never seen this match before. Hopefully, This is not like a Bujami prison. I'm hoping that it's
No, I don't
something
think
that's
so.
actually good.
No, for sure, man.
But there is a lot of possibilities for this match. And the hard question,
I'm going
who
to
do
go
we
with the
have
dark
winning
horse,
this match?
main event Jey Uso. I'm going to go with main event Jey Uso. I'm going to be the dark horse.
Jimmy's turning on Jey. I got Roman Reigns.
All right, brother. Hey, I respect that because it is viable, and I could say, you know, me choosing Jey is fucking outlandish, but I've been behind main event Uso this entire time, including when he was in line. So you know what, main event Uso.
Hey, if he wins, I'm going to be happy.
Hell
So
yeah!
I hope I'm wrong.
Won't be disappointed.
But we're going to have to wait and see. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs that are, you know, listening to the podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just a 5-star review, but a best one review. And to the We Are Wrestling Maniacs that are watching, let us know in the comment section below your predictions for SummerSlam. We would love to hear it. Maybe we'll even feature it as, you know, a comment of the week. We've been doing that a lot over there. But if you guys enjoyed the SummerSlam 2023 predictions, make sure to smash that like button. Now, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already, subscribe, turn on the post notifications. If you're listening, download the episode. Really helps, you know, the podcast grow. The link's down in the description below. You can go follow Danny, Ben, and myself. All the links to our social medias and other YouTube pages are down below. And of course, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, tomorrow, Ben and I are going to be giving our thoughts on the newest WWE documentary, Cody Rhodes, Becoming Cody Rhodes. And of course, you already know, we are taking over. Peace.